The estate car. Humble, practical, utilitarian, handsome, classless. Why would anybody drive a saloon car when they can have an estate car? A car that does everything a saloon car can do and a whole load more. And it's because of my love of the estate car why I've got this one now as well. The Volvo V70 D5. You've got an estate car though, it's Alexander Audi, as good as estate cars get. Why do you need a Volvo as well? Well, I don't need a Volvo as well. I'm going to decide whether I want a Volvo instead. A couple of years back, having had some lunatic run into the back of me in my Rover 25, I decided that I could do with a more substantial car, an estate car for my everyday doings. And the Rovers and whatever else will be for just me to potter around a little bit less protected in. And I had a right good ponder about estate cars. It needed to be within a particular budget, it needed to be big, it needed to do everything I wanted it to do, obviously, and I needed to like it on top of that. And the car that I came to the conclusion as being the best car I could get would be one of those, a V70 D5. The D5, because of its 5-cylinder 2.4 litre diesel engine with 161 brake horsepower, quick enough really for everyday use. It's a family car. Why does it need to be rapid? It doesn't. It just needs to do the job properly. Just around the corner was a weird Peugeot 407. A very likeable car because it's so weird, but not very practical. Not really. I mean, it's a big car and most of that space was taken up by its face, whereas the Audi has a small face and a very, very big back end. But I'm still not doing a very good job of answering the question. If this is so good, why do I need this? Well, the power of having a YouTube account. That's the answer. Let's answer it properly. Just over a week ago, I was contacted through Facebook Messenger about a Volvo V70. And this chap had it for 5 years, and then he got to the point where he was thinking, you know, it's got a couple of problems. I reckon I should just scrap it. But he remembered me. So he messaged me and said, would you like to take it instead? And it was very cheap. £200. £200 for a Volvo estate with plenty of MOT. How could I say no to that? Well, I didn't say no to that. What some like to call a no-brainer. £200 for a Volvo estate that you can just pick up and drive away. The choices are pick it up, drive it away, sell it away. Pick it up, drive it away, take it apart because it's not really worthwhile fixing, or exchange the Audi in everyday use for the Volvo because I prefer it. Next week I shall compare them back to back in video, and that's when I will make my decision final as to which car I should keep. In order to acquire this cheap car, I had to sell my other car, my Rover 418 SLD, which I really didn't want to do. I was going to get some money out of that to pay some bills and still have enough left over to buy a car with. As it goes, I didn't need to, because my friend, Allegro man, paid for this car. He paid for it in exchange for some more videos. Let's have a good look around it, and you can help me decide whether I made a good decision or not. Now, I've done a review of the V70 before, so there's no point in me going through all of those features. I may as well just point out some of the things I really like about this one and some of the things that I need to sort out with this one. It's not exactly had a great deal of use since its last MOT, and it's got 4 months left on it. Currently, it wouldn't pass another MOT because of a couple of issues. Those issues being two reasonably serious things. The brakes are shocking and make a horrible noise, and bind. So that was a slightly exciting experience driving this up from Cambridge yesterday. The other issue is just important, although not today, but most days here in Great Britain, and that is the wipers. They don't work. They don't do any wiping of the screen. So that means It won't pass an MOT, and it won't stop you from misunderstanding what's in front of you whilst driving in the rain. I was very lucky to get back without having any problems. It is something I will need to fix before I use it, and that. It's okay on a run. If you're not touching the brakes, they don't bind. And if you're not touching the brakes, you're not relying on using the brakes to stop. So that's fine. You know, it's really not a problem at all at that point. But when you do need to use them, they're not very good. And that isn't fine. The interior is quite good. It's mostly good, in fact. It has a few stains on the carpets. The leather is showing a bit of wear. And the headlining is still on the roof, mostly. Let's open up some doors and have a look inside. What do you think, dog? Have a look inside. The front door as well? Damn! Overall condition of the car, which is green. It doesn't look green, does it? But it is. When you get it in the direct sunlight rather than down the side of it, you can see it is green. The paint looks like it might be quite good once it's washed. I don't suppose it's been washed for a while. It has the occasional scrape here and there. It's got the wiper missing from the boot, but it also has a tow bar, and that is lovely. There's another scrape there, and that headlamp is very cloudy. Plus the alloy wheels are all rather badly scuffed. Although I don't like these things, I'm used to them. I'm used to having to take responsibility for somebody else's clumsiness. It isn't rusty anywhere, and it's a very, very handsome car indeed. This is easily the most modern car I have ever owned. That's broken. This cup holder is only of any use for driving round roundabouts on the continent. Otherwise, no good. It has 181,000 miles. And it starts, and it's tuned into Radio 4. And that works. The D5 engine. It's a great engine because it's a 5-cylinder and it sounds interesting. It's also not an engine known for problems, unlike some of the other ones. Which has got a bigger boot, do you reckon, this or the Audi? Well, I think it's actually the Audi. But there's a certain practicality about this that the Audi doesn't have. And I don't just mean the squared off back. If I remove the oil and the brake discs and that bit of trim and this boot liner, like so, we will discover that this has extra seats. Although you need to take that parcel shelf off to use them. These seats are definitely not for adults. Would it actually be legal though for me to be a passenger in the back of this car like this? I don't think it should be. What's interesting though is that these are cloth seats. The rest of them are leather, and they're original. It's not like some sort of aftermarket fit. I think that's strange because as the only people who'll be able to fit inside there will be children, who of course are notoriously travel sick. They could do with being wiped clean. Even worse is that they're in the back facing the wrong way, and the one thing you can do to combat travel sickness is to look where you're going. So those, if they've ever been used, will have been puked on. Bits of the booting trim on wood. Carpet stuck on wood. That's interesting. But these need to be taken off if you want to get to the spare wheel, which is under there. Oh, it looks new. That's never been used, has it? Wow. And look at the size of that. Wow, that's a good sized battery, that. Oh yes. Tray out. Look, the only thing is really, in order to get to this stuff, it's like you've got to take half your luggage out just to get to the battery or the spare wheel. And that isn't secured. This battery looks really rather new, but it could be old because being in the boot there, it doesn't get dirty. So let's test it. Wow. Really? So not only does it look like a brand new battery, it's testing like a brand new battery. That is excellent. That's a good place for the fuse box. And then we have another one, just a really curious little hole there, just the right size to put a bottle of wine, I guess. Next test, will the dog like it? Come on. In the car. In the car. In. Jump. Oh. Which one do you prefer? This or the Audi? Are you happy in there? Eh? Do you want to come out? On the whole, I think I've got myself an exceedingly good buy. I've got some new brake discs for the front, they came with it, and some oil and other bits. And the biggest stack of paperwork I've ever seen for a car. I mean, really, look at all this. This is just astonishing. The only thing is, as well as this car has been looked after and serviced, etc., it probably does need a cam belt change now, because it's not been done for 9 years. I'm not sure what the intervals are, but I would imagine you're not going to get much beyond that before you're putting it at risk. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for being a channel member. Thanks for liking a Volvo. Thanks for watching it all the way to the end and sharing it with somebody you think is fantastic. Bye.